Yuan can steal other factions' heroes permanently. All factions can actually do this, but Yuan is the new master of hero stealing because of his unique faction mechanics. But before we even talk about his special mechanics, firstly, Yuan starts right next to Marcus Wolfheart. Wolfheart's faction has 4 unique immortal heroes: a Wood Elf, an Empire Witch Hunter, a Bretonnian Paladin, and a Dwarf Engineer. Probably 4 of the best heroes in the game that it's possible to steal. And because of Yuan proximity to Wolfheart, he can actually steal all of Wolfheart's legendary heroes without even using any of Yuan special mechanics. Once Yuan is done stealing all of Wolfheart's heroes, basically as soon as the game starts, he can go on to unlock abilities that will allow him to steal heroes from any and every faction in the game. In order to transfer Wolfheart's unique heroes into your faction, first you need to get a military alliance, and this only takes a couple of turns for Yuan to set up. As soon as you start your campaign, send a caravan to Castle Drakenhof. When the caravan reaches its destination in 6 turns, you'll get the Drakenhof Blade, a legendary sword that will give Yuan health regeneration. Set your compass to Great Bastion. This will give you a powerful halberd unit to summon in battle and extra replenishment whenever you're in your own territory. Turn 1, you can defeat your starting enemy and move forward. Recruit a new lord at Isle of the Crimson Skull, garrison them in the settlement, and set up 2 turns of recruiting, including global recruiting. You can use the Levy the Provinces ability to get this recruitment done in 1 turn. Turn 2, move Yuan up, force march your other lord to transfer their units. Recruit a 3rd lord at Floating Pyramid, garrison him inside the settlement, and start recruiting. This should incite the Blue Vipers to encircle the settlement to stop your recruiting. On turn 3, move up your lords and attack the Greenskins. Once they're defeated, force march your first 2 lords all the way to the High Sentinel, cancel your recruitment, and then initiate the attack with your 3rd lord. Destroy the Greenskins, occupy the settlement, and move your other 2 lords back towards Floating Pyramid. Recruit another lord at Floating Pyramid and 2 more units. On turn 4, join Wolfheart's war against Clan Mange. Move back and attack Spectre Zuma with Yuan He'll reveal that there's a Skaven settlement there. Move up all of your other generals to reinforce, then attack and occupy Spectre Zuma. Once you take Spectre Zuma, move all of your lords back towards Floating Pyramid. Then enter diplomacy with Wolfheart. His army will likely be on its way to take Spectre Zuma. That's why you have to rush to take it before he does. Trade Spectre Zuma to him in exchange for a military alliance, and make sure to also get him to go to war with the Blue Vipers. Now you are in a military alliance, so you can borrow armies and you share an enemy. Being in an alliance will net you 2 allegiance points per turn. But in order to request a decent sized army, you're likely going to need between 60 to 80 allegiance points. The next step is to get allegiance points. Move all of your armies up towards the Blue Vipers capital. The Blue Vipers will likely recruit a new lord at their capital. Once you see a Blue Viper's lord and you're in range to attack them on the same turn, enter diplomacy with Marcus Wolfheart and get him to give you an ally mission. You only have 1 shared enemy. The Blue Vipers are quite close to both you and Marcus Wolfheart, and they only have a couple of settlements, the capital being closest to you. So it's very likely that each turn they're going to recruit a lord at their capital, and that Marcus Wolfheart is going to give you an ally mission to kill that lord. Kill the lord, sack the Blue Vipers capital, and collect an extra 14 allegiance points this turn. Just encamp your armies near the Blue Viper capital ready for next turn. Next turn, the Blue Vipers spawn a new lord in their capital. Wolfheart gives me another ally mission to kill that lord. I kill the lord, collect the allegiance points. Turn 8, another lord, another mission, more allegiance points. I get another mission every single turn and just sit there farming the Blue Vipers capital for allegiance points. By turn 11, I've got 94 allegiance points, but I'm waiting for Wolfheart to put one of his legendary heroes into another army. You can't borrow armies being led by the faction's legendary lord, so I've got to wait till he puts one of his heroes into another army. On turn 11, Marcus recruits a legendary hero into one of his other armies. I'm able to request the army and get control of it. I start moving the army with the Dwarf Engineer back towards my other armies and the Blue Viper capital. On turn 13, I managed to get the borrowed army down to the Blue Viper capital. Siege the settlement and bring the borrowed army with you as reinforcements. Fight the battle manually so that you can ensure that the Dwarf Engineer gets wounded in the battle. If you can't quite manage to get him killed and he routs before he dies, just bring the army back and siege it again and try a second time. Because Jorek is an immortal hero, when you finally get him killed, instead of dying, he'll become wounded and he'll go into your wounded list in your faction. After 5 turns, when he recovers from his wounds, he'll revive as part of your faction. You'll be able to add him to your armies and use him just like any one of your other heroes. Wait a few more turns, and as soon as Wolfheart puts another legendary hero in one of his armies, you can steal that one as well. Okay, so that was just regular hero stealing that any faction can do. But what about if Yuan Bo was unable to get a military alliance with Wolfheart for some reason? Or Wolfheart didn't give you any ally missions, so you couldn't get any allegiance points. Yuan Bo's got a special faction ability to cover this situation. The foreign stratagem in Yuan Bo's Matters of State system allows him to spend 6 steel tokens to request any army that he can see as long as he's not at war with the faction. Yuan Bo also has a special ability that gives him vision over any faction's territory that he has a trade agreement with. So he has unparalleled vision and the ability to pick out armies with legendary heroes wherever he can find them. Not able to get allegiance points with Wolfheart? Doesn't matter. Just take Wolfheart's army with foreign stratagem. 2 new unique legendary heroes now belong to Yuan Bo. But what about if you've already stolen all of the legendary heroes? If you borrow armies with normal heroes, if they're under level 20 and they're not immortal and you get them killed, they'll just die. They won't go into your wounded pool. You need them to be immortal. Most factions have to wait until a hero gets above level 20 before they can steal them, not Yuan Bo. Once Yuan Bo has captured Hexuadal in the Immortal Empires campaign map and built the Astromantic Relay, you then have to wait a few turns for it to become attuned. And once it's attuned, finally it will unlock the Dragon River option on the Wuqing Compass. Dragon River makes all characters immortal. That means that any hero in any army that you borrow, regardless of what level they are, will automatically be immortal, which means if they fall in battle, they'll be wounded and they'll join your faction. Just search around the map, find any neutral army that has some heroes that you like, and take the army. Then just suicide it into the nearest enemy, and the heroes join your wounded pool. In this campaign, I was able to steal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heroes so far, including 2 exalted heroes, which are some of my favorite heroes in the game. I'm planning to get quite a few more by the end of this campaign. Hopefully I have quite a menagerie by the end. If you'd like to see another video about how to steal heroes with Norska, the second best hero stealing faction in the game, I'll link a video at the end.